our souls. And no money in our coats. Well, you can't say we're satisfied, and you can't say we never tried. And you're beautiful, but ain't it time that we've said goodbye? And Angie, oh, I still love you. I love you, and I remember all those nights we cried, and all those dreams we felt so close seem to all blow up in smoke. Well, let me whisper in your ear, Angie, where will it lead us from here? Oh, and don't you wish, 'cause your kisses still taste sweet. Oh, but I hate that sadness in your eyes. Hey, Angie, oh, my pretty Angie. Oh, ain't it time that we've said goodbye? Oh, with no loving in our souls, and no money in our coats. Oh, you can't say you were satisfied. And Angie, oh, I still love you. I love you, baby. And everywhere I look, I see your eyes. Oh, there ain't a woman that comes close to you, my Angie. And come on, baby, come on, dry those eyes. Hey, Angie, oh, my pretty Angie. Ain't it good to be alive? And Angie, you can't say we never tried.
All right, well,
Thank you for joining us tonight as we go ahead and present to you Talking Quiet IT with Tony and Glenn.
I think she deflated my head there.
Definitely. So much air.
Glenn,
Shh.
smooth shades.
Shh. Oh, thank you.
Smooth
IT.
shades.
Shades. It's the way that is. I love that that video, man. That was definitely an awesome thing for the voice. Like not interview, but application submission.
I cannot hear Wings enough at this point. Like, he has hooked me on that song.
Mm-hmm. It is awesome. And the style too, the style of the picking. Really like that.
Great job, Jake.
Mm-hmm. We have a guest with us tonight.
Yeah, we got a cool guest showing some cool new technology. To me, this is a new form of controller. Like, this is where controllers go from memory to software.
Definitely going to be cool. Inbox 360. I think you're still muted because they changed channels over here.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
was.
when she moves you, she mutes
Automatic.
you.
Yep.
Where'd you guys get the cool glasses?
Filters.
App cam.
Damn. I need that.
But I can have them off too.
I got cool glasses. See, I got the rainbow stuff going on.
I can do
Kind of.
let's see. I think that
Yeah,
one. There we go.
that's the
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Walter White.
We have sunglasses.
Dude,
You're-
I was actually
you're using the
Walter.
analog.
I was actually Walter White a few years ago for Halloween because I
Nice.
can actually shave my. I actually look like the dude. My boss actually gave me hell for it. Like, are you the one who knocks?
Nice.
I am the one who knocks.
Mhm.
All right. I guess I'm gonna share my screen now or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be awesome.
All right. Cool.
You
We're talking about
saying
the- yep.
You're using AI. to
Yes, sir.
Write some of your melodies.
Mm-hmm. Correcto mundo.
I love that. Being able to have the vocals just come up out of nowhere, out of thin air, right?
And voice synthesis is coming like really powerfully a long way in the last couple of years. Simulating a singing voice, I think, is doable. Just from what I've heard from you so far.
Because we've definitely looked at voices and strings before, being able to do like a vocal chorus, things like that, just using string vocals, but it's like it can only go so far, it seems. So this is a different approach, I think.
Well, when you get into spoken word or you know, articulation, it's easy to do a choir patch. You know, we've had that for a while, but getting actual singing is where the technology is going.
Oh, we see you talking, but actually we don't hear you now. Could be because
when-
the audio took over from
yes,
there, perhaps?
started sharing and
we were not able to hear you
might have
then.
took, yeah, might have took your mic.
Mhm.
If you still have your phone hooked up. if you
That's
leave
right,
your
the phone was
phone
still
here,
connected.
You can use your phone for the audio.
We would just have to change the channel or change the room that the phone is in. Would we need Ange to move him, or would we would he be able to choose the main channel, just leave room from the phone?
Probably easier for Ange to move him in that case. Figuring out how to do shit on the phone with Zoom is
The other way would be we could have
I'm
you stop.
leaving him up to the main session.
There you go. Thank you.
Bing, bing, bing. Shh, IT with Tony and Glenn.
There we
You
go.
have to forgive me. The train has arrived.
Ah,
You can probably hear the horn out there.
nope, sounds fine.
All right. So
Ange
this is
got
pretty
louder
much
trains than you.
And I have plans here.
the train track. But anyway, yeah, this is the AI Splash Pro, free to use. Pretty much unlimited chord progressions. Any style that you want. You can also select a playing style, electronic, all these genres, hip hop, pop, R&B, rock. They even have hard rock and punk. Punk is pretty much the closest you're going to get to metal.
They better have
So,
hard rock.
oh yeah. Punk is the closest you're going to get to metal, in my opinion, with this. But yeah, these two 8-bar chord progressions were based off the exact same settings from one another. And gonna have a quick little listen. I have it on. You know what? I'm gonna change strings over to string mode.
So these are MIDI loops you brought in using the compose MIDI option. When you compose MIDI, you created
Yep.
these snippets.
Mm-hmm.
I hear.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
And so we have that. So we got that out of the way. We can go ahead and throw in a bass, put in some heavy variation, because I like that. A little bit.
So this
Or-
is using the, let's just real quick. This is using that progression that you set up.
Mhm.
And as you're going through keyboard, bass, drums, you're making these different parts based on that progression. Pick a
Mhm.
key, pick some, how many bars. This is pretty cool.
And telling them how strict or how loose to play their parts as well.
Yeah.
I like
And the
that.
chords. Okay, I see. So you set how many chords?
And you noticed I didn't change anything, so I'm going to compose another one right here, but it's going to be different.
So does the AI, when you set the chords, like you set it for what, 8 there?
Always. I like variation.
So does
8
the
measure
AI
checks.
randomly do the chords or
Or is that part of
It's-
that setup stream?
it's part of the setup, but also it decides for you, kind of. But you give it a set of parameters to base itself off of. So I'm going to set up an instrument for this.
so it basically stays in key, stays in
Mhm.
beat?
Oh, definitely, always.
All your parameters establish like the groove.
Oh yeah, definitely. So now I got cello. Let me set up my effects.
It's interesting to
here.
see their this was the bass variation.
Yeah, this is the
blue track?
bass. I'm using it a cello
On a cello.
section. I love cello section bass.
Yeah.
And these are my filters. This is what actually makes
Oh,
it
same
sound
here.
real on the BandLab instruments. So if you guys want to take notes, you can write this down, because this is
Oh, if you're doing
what
MIDI on
actually makes-
BandLab, you're going to want to use these effects.
oh yeah,
Otherwise,
definitely.
it'll sound like what people claim
Grainy,
MIDI sounds like.
plasticky.
It sounds like Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Then we go from there.
Very cool.
Do our drums. I'm gonna set my drums on. I think I should set them on. I know where to set them. So, oh yes, you can also choose which parts of the drums you want. If you want just a kick and a snare, you can have just a kick and a snare for
Nice.
your
Oh,
introductory.
so it's like a
drums.
complexity,
Mm-hmm. You can
like
also
how
do
complex you want the
variation,
drums.
energy, density, timing between each stroke.
Because different styles of music might not use the toms
Mhm.
at all, or they might not use the cymbals at all, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I am going to set this in the style of. I'm thinking.
They should have a Neil Peart option.
Where 4 extra arms grow.
So I'm going to put
Yeah.
6 in here with the snare and the kick.
Full drum set.
I'm going to set this at right here. I'm going to set my. Obviously gonna put my
And was
filter
one of those
there.
settings energy?
Yes.
And energy was one of the options?
Yes.
That's a great category for drum.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
when you're trying to come up with drum parameters, I understand that.
I find the best drum kit
It
is
should
Fusion.
actually adjust the level. Like, energy should affect the levels of the hits.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna
The
adjust
Fusion
this
kit.
down because usually this the drums almost always clip. I mean, so.
That's why it's handy to have an EQ where you can just pull down the master out.
Let me turn that up. Actually, let me turn this up there so I can get some depth. Okay, now I want you guys just to say a random phrase or some lyrics. Come up with something. Come on, some lyrics.
Oh, it lets you put lyrics in too?
Yeah, that's how the AI vocalist works.
Nice. What words were you thinking of for that song you were doing, Tom?
Something like, I would try to go for something anywhere with like a phrase that has 8 or 16 syllables. I try to make it 8.
It's a
Anything odd makes it
new
kind of weird.
project. So you have to think in syllables more
Yeah,
with this
that's another
approach.
way it keeps in rhythm.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Musicians should be thinking this way as they write. If you're writing your words to the music, you should be thinking in syllables like that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're writing music to words, in which case the music finds a beat and a tempo based on the way the words are coming out.
Go with Talking Shit with Glenn and Tony. That's 8 syllables.
Okay. Now you're going to see me misspell this on purpose because it is vowel intensive.
Cool.
Very vowel intensive.
Do they have ways to control the articulation? Like, with MIDI, you can control different expressions and levels and MIDI controls. Do they have something for the word approach so that you can say emphasis on a syllable?
Talking shit with...
For me, when I've done that with other trying to text to speech or text to speech programs, it was basically just if I wanted to like E to be emphasized, I would just put 3, 4, 5 E's just to get it to really emphasize it out. So you can kind of force it just with how you spell things like he's doing.
By overemphasizing?
Talking shit with who and who again? Tony?
Glenn and Tony.
Glenn. Okay. Put 2 N's. That should help.
And for a singer, you have a male and female. What's the variations under each one of those? Because I would imagine they must have like all sorts of different females.
It's only one, but depending on the key that she's in and the genre, the voice actually sounds different. So I'm going.
And you can always run it through a pitch shifter.
Now here's
modulation.
The cool thing. You guys are gonna go nuts. I'm gonna solo this, and you're gonna see how plasticky it sounds before I apply the filter. It sounds like a robot at first, but this is why I say pay attention to the filter.
Well, this is why learning audio engineering is useful.
Yeah.
Because the plasticky sounds don't have to sound plasticky, but you got to do something to them.
Takes a little finessing. Yeah.
Oh, it takes a lot.
Talking shit with Glenn and Tony.
I like it.
That is fucking cool.
Now I kept those. You see, I deleted it. It's not coming back. I can render another one. It'll sing it in a different way.
Right. but staying in key still, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You've already sold me. Like,
She
like I am
waved
definitely
her
gonna play
name
with
to
this.
me.
Definitely. Very cool.
Somehow.
Oh, there's so much usefulness here.
Yeah, so if you don't like the way it sings, you can just render another one and keep rendering until it gets exactly the sound you want. And so now I'm going to up my mix on my space maker, the width up to 6. That makes it silky smooth.
And obviously,
Talking,
as
she
you've
waved
played
her
with this,
name to me.
Nice.
you've
Get some
gotten
more and
used
more
to the
human sounding. Yeah.
effects adjustments. Yeah, that's cool.
It sounds like a fucking human being.
Very cool.
I think this is a big part of the
Talking,
future of
she waved
music
her
writing.
name to me.
Okay, so I'm
Whether
actually
people like it or
going
not,
I am
it's
actually
just like
going to mark
synthesizers, and samplers. It wasn't always a reset. You're going to have singers who are going to hate this. They're going to be like,
Sure.
"Oh, this is going to take my job." But
And there are others who will use it as a tool or see the potential for using it as a tool in certain situations.
and see how I
yeah,
modified
I don't believe this
the
will
words.
replace singers, but
Sure.
I do believe this will change the way writers write their music. And they might actually utilize this to frame
Talking,
the singing
she
that they want
waved her
faster.
name to me.
Nice.
See that
Wow.
okay, so that variation actually goes at the end of the chord progression. So I'm
And
gonna
you
actually just
smooth
write
that
it
down
here.
to natural. That sounds natural.
Talk,
Okay, so now I'm actually gonna play it at the beginning of this drum progression.
talking, she waved her name to me.
So all I gotta do is lower this by
Oh,
about
yes.
4
Hell yeah.
just gotta lower those tracks by 4 decibels and we should be good.
Talking, she waved her name to me.
We have a new theme song singer.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since Speaking Spells.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Really?
And you can definitely see the difference between, like you said, the initial signal and how it is after the effects are added, the ones that you look through. And which ones, I mean, when we talk about each one that's in there, I mean, the graphics EQ, what you can do with that and what you can do with the extra ones that you have in there. Is each one doing something specific, or do you have them all just like you tried
I was
one
wondering that
and
myself.
went with an additional one because you needed something additional?
So what this pretty much does is because I found that on each track, a whole lot of stuff on the BandLab instruments, they clip a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I have this to compensate for the midtones while emphasizing the highs. The lows use a little bit of emphasis, and I always have around 240, 230 hertz on the mid. Always have a good compression going on. I always have it set to limit because that actually helps with clipping as well. You'll hear me say clipping a lot.
It's almost like dealing with a pop filter. You're using these effects the way that like a pop filter and a hiss, how you control those in that world. This is like the equivalent here, huh?
And mix pretty much makes the vocals and everything else really smooth. As far as even if there is a small amount of clipping, this will smooth it out. And I always have my parameters set for
just for precision.
equalizer.
The graphic EQ is a surgical frequency adjuster. Yeah, all those make sense.
I think this is a brand new one. Hold on.
Talking shit with Glenn and Tony.
That's a perfect progression of vocals right there.
Yeah.
I would save
Love
that
it.
one. That's a
Definitely.
good one.
That is a good one.
Very good.
That is so
actually
damn
falls
useful.
Very, very useful. And then obviously, we can do this. One shots.
Well, especially for like hip hop writing, and when you're looking for that like little clip melody, where you want something like this as a repetitive clip that you use across the beat. This gives you like vocals that would take a lot of work in the old days. What's the guy sound like?
You could also end up stressing out the singer's voice, where this can go through everything.
I want to know what the guy sounds like. Holy sh!
Well, can you do a second version with the guy's voice after? So
I'll do it now.
We hear both.
Doing it now. We'll do it live.
Nice.
That guy is nuts. We'll do it.
It's
live.
a duet.
I don't know how this is going to. I haven't used the male version in so long.
See, there's a monster value. That's the guy.
That's the. He sounds kind of like he's in his 20s right now. Still.
Yeah,
going
he's
through
a young guy
at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, he's boy band.
but you know, we can actually. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me delete that.
But even you could obviously run that through a pitch shifter and turn him into a 40-year-old smoker if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you delete it from the track, it still saves to the clipboard down here, so you can grab the same file and add another layer.
You're moving all of these just through the clipboard. I didn't even realize that. Like it was just seamless to me. But literally, when you hit it there, it's in the clipboard. You just go over to BandLab and paste. That is awesome.
And yeah, you literally grab it and you drag it.
Oh, it simplifies the workflow.
Okay, so you saw how, or you heard how low that sounded. Like you didn't hear a whole lot of volume. You can even see it in the waveform there. So we can adjust that because we already have our volume set for this one, and obviously we're going to change this one. Let me adjust master there. Put you up by about 2 decibels. Let's pump up your bass, man. You need to be a bit more manly, man. You need to be a manly man.
Manly man.
Let's actually add a driver.
Well, with clips like this, one of my plugins that I like to use for voices, Nectar, has an awesome modulator in it. You can change voices and make a female into a male. You can make a male into a female. This with that is a great combination because I can pitch shift or make that guy into baritone.
And actually, you could even do it right there in BandLab. You could just tell it to adjust the pitch down an octave or whatever if you wanted
to.
Yeah, actually, if you use the BandLab's vocator on that.
Let's see. I don't think it's gonna sound right, but
talking shit with
you can only stretch it.
Let me get rid of the
You get the idea, though.
Actually, that sounds cool, though. That's the digital version.
Not bad.
It's decent. It's decent, but I don't use the male at all. It's kind of weird. And now we can go back to drums and we can add an extra layer. So now we're gonna add. Actually,
yeah, I like the fact that you can select the parts of the drums, like you were saying, the different sections. Like you want the tops, you want the kick and the snare, maybe not the toms.
Variation, energy, and density all make sense. Great way to like actually turn drum approach into a slider. Except density. What does density actually do?
Okay, density is the timing between each actual hit of the drums. Like,
so like more fills.
Boom, boom. If you want density in between each BPM, I'm talking like
a higher density would have a bunch more dots in between those.
Yes.
Yep.
You'd see more hi-hat action or tom action.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a matter of fact, I'll
that is
go ahead and make a high density one because it's locked. I actually have it locked to that parameter, so I'm gonna actually set it way up here. Close it. Hide it. Put it on this bar. See how many dots there are now? There's
Wow,
a lot more.
that's so fast.
Let me take it off general.
Nice.
I hate general. General is garbage to me. Drum kits. Fusion. Fusion is my favorite.
Yeah, they
The
do
hardest
have.
hitting, in my opinion. Let me go back to my effects. Let me adjust this. Let me adjust this. This is pretty much for the kicks.
Yep.
Yeah, I always use that. These two are mainly for the kicks, and these for the hats. I never use this because it's like it like digs into your ear too much. You're using that crappy. Oh no, wait, it's fusion. I thought it was general for a second. Let me tone this down. It's a little bit too much. Oh, you get the idea. The beautiful thing about it is I can just get rid of it. I want the hi-hat better. I want the hi-hat. There we go. That looks like a game of Pac-Man.
That's
Okay, so here I actually see an interesting part where I can insert something else. So this is how I actually do my workflow. Like if I find something interesting that I can do with the chord progression and add something, I'm going to add it like immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make another keyboard. Oh yeah, that is
Did
a
that
lot of
say
notes.
chordiness?
Is that still because of the density setting you changed a second ago? So now it's a dense keyboard part? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a lot of chords going on there. Wow. Let me see. I gotta do my thing. There's chamber 2.
Well, it's interesting to see its parts arrangement compared to the drum arrangement with those different settings.
Mm-hmm. And then what I'm gonna do,
You know,
I got
me and Glenn were talking about this the other day. Like,
sorry to adjust that. Turn this down a little bit. Turn this up a little bit. Transpose by 12. So I can get a real lead instrument instead. I am actually going to change this over to a bright piano. Where are you? I know you're here. Guess not. Diddy keys, maybe. Oh, wait a minute. Sparkle. Oh, no. I always like messing with this stuff. I always come up with something.
Always good to hear the options.
I live in patches.
Let's go with 80s. Why not? It's like a fusion of classical and depression.
Well, picking those patches is like adjusting those AI settings.
Mm-hmm.
You go with a retro synth sound, you make a different kind of song.
And then this is the stupidly easy part. Bam.
Nice.
And take you, copy you, put you on this one. And then I like to have a little bit of variation there.
Yeah.
Okay, can't do that yet. Get rid of that. Copy this. Paste it there.
Oh, he's editing like Jason now.
Yep.
So I took my first progressions from the first slides, put them over here because these are the second progressions.
ABA.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Talking shit with Glenn and Tony. Talking shit with Glenn and Tony. Talking shit with Glenn and Tony.
Oh wait, this is a perfect interlude though. Oh man.
Dude,
You know what I have
That
to
is
do now?
awesome.
This is
that
an
is
interlude
so
right here. I'm
cool,
putting
man.
in a full fucking thing in here. Oh, let me see. Let me
Well,
put it.
He hears it. He hears it
I
coming.
love watching your workflow here. This
Exactly.
workflow is so natural.
I'm thinking back
You
to when I
get to
first joined in
focus
the
on
band lab.
the-
You know how long that would have taken me when I first started up here? It was like you'd never be able to do that. But I mean,
Yeah.
it would have taken weeks of editing to get that done.
Never mind the voice synthesis going on.
Yeah.
Like, there's some mind-blowing shit here for me.
And so much of that right there is all about snapping. I mean, snapping is so key to all of that because there's no way you get like all those to get exactly where you want them to be. So got to have the snapping on. These little stuff like that makes such a
Yeah.
difference.
Okay. I'm done now. I'm done editing.
Never done editing.
Well, surrendered.
Talking shit with Glenn and Tony.
Saved it
Nice.
just before. That's how I get that very last note in.
Yep, very cool. Stretch it just that little bit.
Now, does the BandLab MIDI let you set it as a loop? Because in Cakewalk, if I said make that clip loopable, then I could stretch it and it would just keep looping it. If I don't, then you stretch it and it just basically is dead space. I noticed you dragged it there. Oh, it is
From
looping.
the top edge, it'll loop. The
Yeah.
bottom edge, it'll do the other way.
Oh, you mean if I grab it in the top corner, it's a looper, and if I grab
Yep.
it in the middle, it's a stretcher?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Different
sir.
tools.
Wow.
And then let me see.
I wonder if that's the same
Now,
in Cakewalk.
obviously, now here's the crazy part.
Ooh, nice.
The song is now officially longer.
Now,
Seriously.
I wish when
Talking
you
shit with
do
Glenn
this,
and Tony.
You can stretch just by adjusting BPM.
now in
All
that
wants to
kind of
meet.
in what you just did there, in that kind of situation, if you decide, ooh, I don't like that, obviously you'll go and edit and undo, or
Yep.
you're stretching it back. See, I wouldn't stretch it back. I would undo because I don't actually trust a restretch. If I re-stretch something to the same place it was, I'm not convinced that there isn't modulation in converting it twice.
Hmm.
You're better off undoing if you don't like what you did there than
Yeah,
saying,
of course.
okay, go back to 108. You might not have the same 108 you had before.
Yeah.
I would like somebody to test that because I don't tend
Yeah.
to do these things,
I
but
can
if you
do it
do these
now.
things a lot, do you notice a difference when you go back after doing that?
Well, not too much
Because
because
I suspect there's
it's
distortion.
MIDI.
Well, it turns it into waves to do what it's doing. Yes, this MIDI
Mhm.
can do that. MIDI can change those BPMs and not blink.
Or you'd
But
hear artifacting.
there's
You hear
waves
weird things.
involved here with that
Yeah.
MIDI. And the moment there's a wave involved, that same shift is a different scenario.
I have the same hesitations that Tony's talking about. Like I have the same thoughts about that, but at the same time, I mean, I haven't seen it happening that way. Like if I've tried to stretch things, like I've managed to do it okay. But I think it also depends on if it's stretching just a tiny bit or if you're stretching it in an even increment, or you know what I mean? Like if you're stretching 120 to 80, that's one thing. But if you're stretching 120 to 93 or 117 or something where it's a really weird stretch, like I think you'll get
Yeah.
more strange results if
And
it's just a weird stretch.
how they stretch audio these days. I mean, the engine has gotten better at stretching audio, but like in the old days, you did that wave file wasn't the same after.
It's a good test though, because Tony's been talking about that for a while.
See, Melodyne does a lot of this too. Melodyne does fancy audio stretching.
Like this one.
A little ambient noise, yeah.
Let's add it.
So now you're grabbing some BandLab clips.
Yes, sir.
Now for me, that would also be something where I would use like volume automation and like bring that from the bottom, like bring it in and then bring it back out, kind of thing.
And these are the kinds of sounds you can stretch. It's a lot different stretching like, a sound effect versus a human voice. I get picky with the like voice stuff. Although with this AI, like stretching it
Mhm.
actually can be cool.
Bump that sucker up to 40. Make
Mhm.
it smooth. 40 and 7. Nice and pretty.
Dark in shape with blending towny. Dark in shape with blending towny. Dark in shape with blending towny.
Oh, that was perfect for the interlude too.
Ends it right in the right
I didn't
spot.
even notice.
Dark in shape with blending towny.
I didn't even realize the texture faded out at the interlude until it happened. I'm like, wait a minute.
Sometimes you just, it was just meant to be that way.
Happy little accident.
Very
It's
But
cool.
cool.
I
It's
actually
cool to
have
watch
another.
your arrangement process.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that. But I do have another project. is similar to that one. Look at all these projects, man.
Yeah.
Oh, save that
oh,
shit. You didn't save that?
it's okay. I can always make them more.
Okay,
Literally,
I want a copy of that for my own
uh,
personal enjoyment.
now this one is weird. This one gets really weird. This one, it actually sounds like the AI is crying. I
Wow.
kid you not. It sounds like it actually cries.
Does does the
Maybe.
AI does the AI have the possibility for emotion levels? Because if
Maybe.
it doesn't, they should consider programming that in.
It actually sounds like it does. This is
Emotion would be something just like with those drums, like the sliders that they made for those for a singer. Emotion would be a slider.
yeah, that would be pretty neat feature if they had it. Hold on, maybe they did add something.
Although not
See,
so much a slider as it would be like a 2D graph, because you have like like I don't
oh,
know,
the
go from
ability to
from low to high is one thing, and from left to right is another thing. You know what I mean?
or punch in emotion. Like on this note, be emotional.
I think it's on this one where you can hear it crying. You'll hear it.
How do I keep my wits about me? Plain as day for all you to see. Only wish I was there for you. But now you're gone and that's the truth.
Yeah, actually, I'll solo this part right here while I'm at it, and we'll examine this part right here. Just this one tiny part. These two little tiny pieces right here. You'll
Right.
hear it.
So
It's literally crying right there.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That freaked me the fuck out when I first heard it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
let her out of the
Here's my
box, man. Let her out of the box. She's
And
crying.
you can
Get
actually
out of
use
there.
effects to get to enhance that kind of crying sound. A little tremolo in the
Probably.
right place.
Like if I were to like chop it here.
Well, a voice that's starting to cry starts to shake.
Mm-hmm.
If you get that effect, that can actually like start to break up that voice at the right time. An emotion trigger would instigate that kind of effect on that vocal track.
Mm.
This is the
And it's
next
like,
generation of like MIDI. Future MIDI won't just be for like synths and instruments. It'll be for like songwriting, word writing. Future MIDI
mhm.
will let you put an effect on a word the same way you put expression on a note.
Yeah.
And MIDI 3.0 is out now. It's been out for a while. Not sure how it's being accepted though.
I know
Yeah, you can.
you're gone and that's the truth.
Kind of, my girlfriend's playing Overwatch. Kind of hear her in the background. Who's she playing as this time? Oh, at least she's playing as Soldier this time. That's different. Kind of a shame that I actually have to drag this down a level, but BandLab doesn't allow that for some reason. Oh, wait a minute. Hello? I did not know that I had this open. Now I actually can modify it.
Well, for a few more tracks, what do they give you? 16 on this?
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah. You see how quickly you can run out.
yeah, that's why I try to be a minimalist.
Well,
Like that's why I literally
that's
put,
why I don't use anything that limits my tracks. Whatever I'm gonna make my music in is not gonna dictate my tracks. My computer does, but not my software.
So you said a tremolo, eh? Let's add that effect in there. Geez, I forgot where
You
to
know,
get the fucking
and they
modulation.
should.
Okay.
Here's a suggestion to BandLab. They shouldn't count MIDI tracks the same way. I know their track limitation is a little bit because of the HTML5 standards with what they build here, but MIDI tracks should not count.
That's a little weird.
MIDI tracks take no space.
Oh yeah. So,
I understand why they would have to limit audio tracks.
yay, I made it.
Or offer a professional upgrade. Like I would pay for BandLab Pro if there was no track limitation
That's
and I
it. That's
really
the
want and I
track right
wanted
here.
to use the editor.
That's it.
Oh
That's all
wow.
you get. That's the track right there.
Would you mute
Just sound
everything?
crazy. I don't know. No. Yeah, I did, but it's big dumb energy over here. Oh, there's actually one that guys heard earlier. Oh my God, so many tracks.
Well, it's really cool seeing the workflow there with that AI, and that is a super useful
Yeah, it does speed things up a lot. It
program.
looks like.
I still got a whole bunch of unreleased stuff that I got
And
to remaster later.
you're running that on your machine, right? Like that's not an app I have to load on a mobile device. I can load up Splash on my machine. Yeah.
Yeah, you do it directly from your PC. It's the only way you can use it, actually.
It's the only way I want to.
Yeah.
Those
Very easy
mobile
to work
apps, even if I make a sound on a mobile app, I'm still going to want to take that sound and go do something with it in a real recording environment.
I think this was the one. Yeah, this is the
And you really are promoting this AI approach. I love it. Tell the world like this is a new form of controlling notes.
oh yeah, definitely. So this is that rock song that has nothing but a cello, some drums. You'll see there's a lot of drum tracks here for good
Oh,
reason, I promise.
and I was gonna say earlier, I notice you're not like one to rename your tracks as you go, because in the old days I used to be like that, and that's why I had like 12 grand piano name tracks. I can't do that anymore because if I don't, when I do have 50, 60 tracks in my project, I can't tell what's what anymore.
I just look at the dots.
Well, yeah,
I
you
know.
can visually see it, but like if you wanted to share that with someone, if I was to fork that, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this? I don't know what pink is."
What's pink? God damn it!
Well, that's the key to collaboration.
Oh yeah.
You do want to name your shit. You do want to like if you want it to be collab friendly. Otherwise, it's for you. Only you need to know your mess,
Yeah.
right?
It's organized chaos.
Yeah. I know where all my shit is. I wouldn't expect you to.
Exactly.
Yeah, 135 BPM, believe it or not. So it's pretty good.
I notice you're a piano guy, huh? Piano and strings.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, love it.
And this is the part of the track right here where it gets wild. I like long
Strong
intros.
a mistake to change my
Wow,
future and my
That's
those
something
fate.
vocals
about,
are coming off that AI.
yeah.
That's amazing.
I was blind and now I see a darker side that's part of me.
Practice. Keep on reloading it until it gets it right.
Feeling strong, don't play a mistake to change my future and my fate. Feeling strong, don't play a mistake to change my future and my fate. I was blind and now I see a darker side that's part of me.
You know, I gotta
amazing.
take that back on the naming. Like listening to that while I looked at the clips, I actually do know what's there and how you're doing it. Awesome
And following
arrangement.
where the voices
Like,
are. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, visually see your arrangement. You don't actually have to name those tracks for me to like understand as I'm listening.
I love the way it's all let go blocked out, and the way you can just slide this here, slide this
Oh
there, and
yeah,
just make it all work.
I always have some kind of pattern. I try to keep it patternized. There's some other stuff.
Well,
Oh, there's
and
a
it should. I mean, not to say like good music has to be pattern wise, but yes, good music
I
is
pretty much,
pattern based.
okay,
Even
now
the
remember what
chaotic
I was
music.
talking about earlier. If you remember what I was talking about earlier, the hard part about the AI, the vocalist part of it, is having it sustain the ending of its vocal part, right? Like
Yeah, I would
say for
imagine that's a
example, it
complex
was
part of the
on the
AI.
last word, and on the last word is
And
you want
again, that
that
would be
to
an expression.
sustained at the end.
Just like you
Yeah.
would punch a sustain in. Like if I'm doing a piano part and I didn't hit the sustain pedal when I played it and I want sustain, I'll just punch in a sustain trigger. If you're going to have a vocal MIDI track, you need to be able to say hold that last syllable
Well, I
for
mastered
this
it in this
long.
track.
Well, you can do that like with effects. I mean, you obviously you can do that yourself, but a good um, language for that type of synthesis. This is a different kind of synthesis. It needs its own MIDI, or they
Hmm.
have to translate what's normally a MIDI signal into a articulation signal. Because level is the same for speaking as it is for hitting a key. But emphasis, there are musical notation that would fit in speaking. So if you can find a musical version of how to say a word when you're speaking or singing word, then use that control.
That's
Translate
why
it over to
it
this
uses
engine.
that's why it uses the actual chord progression there. It uses the progression. You can go into detail, like say I wanted this to be changed. You can do a 1 1 7 major 7. It's infinite, the combinations.
And it
Almost
stays
infinite.
and it stays in tune and pitch.
But this
It's
one
like
I
it's
made.
like when drum machines came out. I
Oh
can
yeah.
see why drummers were scared when drum machines came out. Like, what the fuck? Who's gonna need a human drummer? But yet, I love a human drummer.
But this one I actually managed to have it sustain its vocals. And this is a different kind of track from what I usually post. This is actually kind of a happy, uh, a bittersweet happy kind of deal. So it's definitely different. A lot
So,
of people say it feels like they're floating in water when they listen to this one.
do you start writing with a mood that you compose in, or
Hmm.
do you start composing and say, "This is the mood I'm feeling"? With this kind of
I
instrument,
go into it with whatever mood I'm in. Like if I'm feeling pissed off, I'll make a
the
fucking rock
mood,
song, like
the
no
mood
question asked.
controls the mood dictates the dials.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tends to be how I write too.
And how hard you hit the
How I
buttons.
feel that day.
Yeah.
Can
So
play the
here's this
same
one.
chords tomorrow and they won't sound the same way.
So happy you found me dreaming, when dreaming is all I do. Don't wake me up, baby darling. Don't wake me up, baby darling. Woke up bright and beaming. Euphoria is what I'm feeling. Don't wake me up, baby darling.
Hey, what the heck is going on with my piano? I don't think so, buddy.
I like those variations it does on those different parts based on like the first track you start with. What is the typical instrument that you start with first, and
I
then
typically,
all the variation
depending
is based off of?
depending on the mood, if I'm going for something aggressive, I'll start with drums first. If I'm going something for a little bit more mellow, I'll start with bass.
Bass, yeah. Bass is
And
so mellow, huh?
Yeah.
It
if I'm
is.
starting with something um, like dark, I'll start with the vocals first.
And for a complicated rhythm, maybe the rhythm
Hey,
guitar.
now I know why this is acting strange.
Well, those starting points really help to like define those variations that this AI comes up with.
I know what's going on here.
And
What is
it does lay a
this?
nice foundation. It's like having a Beck in a box.
Back in the box.
Snap.
Get back in the box.
It wasn't snapped.
Well,
There we go.
having that like
Ah,
perfectly like
Okay, there we go.
perfectly played accompaniments
Mhm.
with interesting chord variations that you can control. Because that's how this guy Jeff Beck, that Glenn and Ange know, like he's a human sequencer.
Definitely.
It's the best way I could describe it. He has every one of these MIDI chords in his brain on the fly.
On keyboard, on guitar, doesn't matter.
Yeah, any instrument.
Okay, there we go.
He basically makes those variation tracks. Oh, you want the bass line? Here.
Why is this stretched? This is so weird. Maybe it loaded it wrong. I'll just play the.
Could it be taxing the system too much with that many tracks?
I don't know.
And the streaming
I'll
or
just play
and the
it
Zoom
from
and
here.
everything.
So that's what it's supposed to sound like.
It's that sounds much clearer from this page.
Yeah, because it's mastered, obviously.
Don't wake me up, baby darling. Don't wake me up, baby darling. So happy you found me dreaming.
I love the comment.
When dreaming is all I do. So happy you found me dreaming. When dreaming is all I do. Don't wake me up, baby darling.
I love that fucking reverb. Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
Don't wake me up, baby darling. Woke up bright
Euphoria is a good title.
and beaming.
It fits.
Euphoria is what I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, this ending though.
Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't wake me up, baby darling. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't wake me up, baby darling. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't wake me up, baby darling. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't wake me up, baby darling.
It really is uncanny, man. That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, if you guys are ever curious about how I get these album
Oh,
covers,
I'm very curious.
I'm about to show you guys. Here in a
I
second.
I would like to help define that new MIDI language that's going to make synth singing. This
Okay, so
is something I have been waiting for 30 years to get this good.
okay, so this is really cool. So let's say you have your band name, song title. I'm just gonna type in some random shit. I don't care. And you can choose a genre either love, nature, psychedelic, fantasy, and you can
Oh,
do
horror
combinations.
metal. They
And you can do
start actually with
combinations.
like some good choices.
And you can do combinations of either all three or two separate versions, and it will actually come up with something unique.
Well, then this is where you're seeing AI in action again. Like,
Yes.
AI these days is everywhere. So, like, if you think you're not part of AI, no matter where you go, this is the randomness in your selections.
And so pretty much you just
That's
pick
awesome.
one. You pick one that you want, and then let's say we just want horror metal, and then yeah, I actually used this one before. It'll
See,
pop up different text.
this has put some graphic artists out of work.
No, actually, these people get paid for the page views, believe it or not. So it's not
He means people that might have been,
Yeah,
hired to
somebody
do an
who,
album cover art by
just
somebody
like a
that,
people are
drummer,
actually getting.
just like a drummer who didn't get a job at the studio because they had a drum machine. Like
No, like
some
these
of
people
this,
that made this art are actually getting commission every time somebody uses it for their Spotify.
what ends up happening is people don't end up getting. I mean, a studio will still hire a professional graphic artist to make an album cover for a band, but people won't necessarily go to a graphic artist when they can generate it. It
but I see what he's saying. Like these are not generated like just a computer generating something out of nothing, but these are
Oh, that
works
one's
that were
sick.
done by somebody.
That one's sick.
if those somebodies get compensated, this is awesome.
Yeah.
If
They do get
those somebodies
compensated.
don't, and
That's what he's saying.
front end is the only one who profits, then it's
He was already
They
saying that they
do.
have
They
profit.
actually do make profit off of this. They get commission every time it's viewed on Spotify, iTunes, any place that sells music, any major music platform, even TikTok and YouTube. They get paid for those views because it's I wouldn't say it's
because of the image algorithm system.
yes.
Yes, you can definitely recognize when an image gets used these days. They are tracking that shit,
Mm-hmm.
just like YouTube with its video algorithms.
Oh, that one is fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then let's put these two together, and I'll come up with something different. That's that that text is all right, but oh well, it could have been better. Like, this one is actually that one actually fits the vibe of the background.
Well, that's got
The
an
text fits the vibe
80s
of the
like
background.
Go-Go's feel.
Yeah, it's just stuff like this. That one's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Oh, there's been a bunch of them that are cool.
Yeah, I mean, literally, a whole bunch of there's tools for everything now. Like if I don't want to use this, I can just go to Canva, like
And make whatever from scratch. Yeah.
Well, see,
I actually have a project
if I
on here.
even if I did use those, I would still be using that as a piece. Just like if I pick a chord progression and then pick a patch and I start writing a track and then add extra shit on top of that layout.
I'm trying to remember where I actually have my. Trying to remember. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes, I think.
Everything's layered these days.
Oh yeah, big time.
You take a piece of this and a piece of that, and you make multimedia sandwiches.
Let's see. We got, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, yeah, but this is where you can get it. Me and some old.
That was Splash, right?
Yeah, Splash Pro.
Oh, Splash Pro. Pop. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely need that address. I am anxious to play with that.
Yeah,
It's a
same.
lot of fun.
SplashPro.popgun.ai.
Or you can just type in Splash Pro in Bing and it'll be the first result, or Google. It's automatically the first result every time.
Homepage loads up fast, even from my slow connection, and bookmark.
Let's see, we got. I mean,
How big is the initial program?
it's not big at all. It's
Thank God.
it's a 30. I think it's like
To get
30
100,
megabytes. It's like 30
100 meg
megabytes.
file takes me an hour.
It's like a 30 megabyte file. It's not big at all.
15, 20 minutes until Sunday. I will have 4 days of bandwidth, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, and I will feel like a normal human. And then it'll go back to like 1 megabit.
I remember.
Ouch.
Oh yes, one of my most popular AI.
I can't
tracks.
wait till it comes.
my most popular AI track was actually my very first AI track. I'm trying to find it because it is.
How long ago was that? When did they come out with this? How old is this approach?
Splash Pro has been around for a while. When I was in the Navy, that was back in 2010. Me and my friends from Korea got together. I was a missile technician, so I actually knew some computer coding at the time. So we got together.
You'd have to. You knew some shit. Yeah.
I was a missile technician, so I had to know advanced mathematics and everything. So I helped them out. Let's see. Yeah, this one is the very first track I made using it. And it is spooky a little bit.
Oh, this should be, that software should be useful as hell in spooky music. It's kind of spooky what it does.
I love using the deep bass in here.
But I love your diversity in you've had piano songs, synth songs. You have a good feel for the sampler and synthesizer.
I can see you standing near me, waiting to let go. But I got this feeling if I should stay or if I should go.
Note to self, go rhymes with go, but it should.
Why do you make it so complicated with these things that I feel? You hunted me down and kept me on the balls of my heels.
It's like Lord in a synthesizer.
You better run, you better run, you better run. You better run,
If you guys
you
ever get the
better
chance to
run,
like
you
really
better
listen to it, like it's not on stream with headphones, you'll hear like the super deep sub bass.
You
I'm not using
better
just regular
run,
bass. This is like
run, you
sub stuff
better
going on.
run.
Like this is like 48 hertz sub bass going on with the
Run
synth.
away, break free, see this side of me.
That's my neighborhood with the low B string, the 5-string bass.
Run away, break free, see this side of me. It's too late, it's too much, out of place, out of touch. It's too late, it's too much, out of place, out of touch. You better run, you better run, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run. You better run, you better run, you better run.
Let's call it.
I like how you slid the vocals right
You
behind
better
the beat.
run, you
So
better
it's
run,
a
you
little off time
better run.
in a very human way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You better run, you better run, you better
It made it sound more
run.
natural.
That's the point.
I mean, I could even see people who are singers using this to have it like plot a melody
Yeah.
line and then use it as a reference to sing along with, or sing, use that to get their line where they want it, and then do it like that. But I mean, I love it as it is as well. It's awesome.
There's so much potential. Like
There's
this.
a lot of potential.
Yeah, this is game changer.
It's
for
also not bound to language.
21st century composers and arrangers.
Yeah,
This
Is it-
is a
I
game
mean,
changer.
Definitely not.
It's
Yeah,
phonetic,
it's
so I
definitely
mean,
not. It's phonetics. So
Yeah. MIDI
not bound
needs
to language.
to
You can have her sing in Japanese or something.
exactly. As long as you can
MIDI
break it down phonetically into something that works.
Mhm.
MIDI 3 needs to have a phonetic for expression. MIDI 3 has to MIDI 2, like they put a lot of thought into it. When they came out with MIDI 2, it's been around for 30 years. It was that good. It replaced sheet music. Everything in sheet music was thought of for MIDI 2. MIDI 3 needs to think about this shit.
Now this was another Splash Pro design, and this track was actually my very first track that made trending ever in classical.
Nice.
Is that the band lab piano?
Telling you, with the right filters, it sounds very decent.
sounds so nice.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
nuts.
I like your instrument choices and your chord approaches, your beat arrangements. You think like a composer and an
Uh,
arranger.
yeah, well,
Yep.
I hope I do.
Well, I can hear it
I've only been doing
and
this since I
see
was
it
12.
from yeah,
Doing
from
this for
those
20
projects
years.
and what I'm hearing. Like it. We're gonna have a lot of fun, man.
And hopefully that the AI inspires you as much as you inspire each other. It's nice.
Mhm.
I like that.
That last one with the AI vocalist, I don't think that was, no, the one before that. I don't think that was the one I was talking about because I've done so many with the AI vocalist.
Mhm.
But I think this
You
is the
have
one
me thinking
where
in a whole new approach with that
I think I
AI.
think this is the one that actually has sustained vocals. Because then I thought about it like, no, that's not really the one. But I think this might be the one. I'll find
Now, are you sustaining it through effect?
out. No, this is just it doing its own thing.
Punching in extra letters like E
Yeah,
just to make it
um,
say it for
it
a little
depends.
longer?
It decides what it wants to do, but I can
Well,
apply the vowels to it if
if
I
you
need to.
emphasize, Glenn was
Mhm.
mentioning that earlier. If you emphasize with extra letters and make it go wee,
Mhm.
can you do that?
You technically could, but if you try to say it, how to have it vocalized a,
Which is a sustain.
which is a sustain, um, it would say ah instead. So it's
Now,
kind of
why?
weird. You have to do it a very specific way. Like you have to add e's to the a's to give
Or
it a very
AY
specific,
because you're going for the
yeah,
sound.
or an ay. Yes, you're going with very
How is
specific
this
sound.
voice, the voice synth engine that's driving all of this? How is, do you have any insight into that? Because I want to learn that synthesizer. Because part of
Well,
this is control, but part of it is the synthesizer here.
mhm. um, it pretty much just comes down to, okay, so you've obviously been to Facebook before, and I know you've seen people type in comments with like the most horrible spelling, but it actually sounds like the way it's spelled, right?
Well, yeah, they're
That's
writing
that's
from,
pretty much
yeah, that's
what's
how I
going on
write.
here. So you actually have to type in the lyrics as if there's someone on Facebook that doesn't know how to spell,
To
pretty much.
compensate for the synth algorithm.
The other thing is you do it as a feedback loop. Like you see
so,
how she
so
says it, and then you can go back and say, okay, I don't like that little part in the middle there. So you change the
Yeah,
way it's spelled and see if it
yeah,
sounds
you
better
can
this way.
change the phonetics within
you
that
know,
word,
you know what you're
and
creating here? You're creating 21st century slang. When the synthesizers actually require that kind of slang adjustment so that you can make
Mhm,
it go wee instead of whoa,
mhm,
you're creating tomorrow's slang
mhm.
for synthesizers.
Yes, sir.
How long before we're all talking whatever voice we want?
I
We're
give it
almost
about
there.
I give it about
I'll choose this
five,
one.
10 years.
If Snapcam is doing what it's doing, this shit's coming.
Don't you know you drive me crazy?
Here comes the suspension.
Drive me crazy.
How it helps.
Drive,
See how it's
drive,
holding?
drive me crazy.
Your appreciation for orchestra is not ignored.
Drive, drive me crazy. Drive.
digital riff.
Held my feelings back for so long. Now you're back and it feels so wrong. Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy.
Oh, I like that little interlude.
Won't you come back to me, baby? Don't you know you drive me crazy? Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy.
And that's what I was
You
talking about.
Nice.
Sustaining
you let
those notes.
Yeah, yeah.
you left that little dip perfectly wide open for a guitarist to go nuts on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah.
throw in that finale sugar. So that sustain at the end as you were going out.
Oh
That's where
yeah. Like
you had to adjust it. What did you do
yeah,
to make it do that?
it's all about adjusting the vowels and phonetics
Yep.
until
Slanging
you
it
get
up.
it just slanging it, whatever you need
Mostly
to
trial
do.
and error, or mostly you figured a couple things out at the beginning and just go with
Trial and
that.
error,
Yeah.
definitely trial and error. You have to play with it a lot. Actually, let's go back to
Well,
that.
it's like figuring out an effect. You know, you get this new effect that like does something with dials. Eventually, you have to go hit every dial and hear the extremes. What's it at
Actually,
its
go back
lowest?
to
What's
that.
it at its highest? Does this actually do anything?
Mm.
Does this knob work?
Let me see. I gotta find it again. Okay, drive me crazy. We go to mix editor, and you'll see just how much stuff I have to go through. I
Only
hope
6
it
tracks, so
shows
that's good.
me.
It drives him crazy.
No, really, what? Oh wait. Oh, never mind. It never. Because typically when I drag and drop, it'll give me a number. It'll say new vocal clip and the number of it.
Right.
I remember having to do like between 30 to 40 tries before I got it perfectly right. But it's a lot faster than, you know what I mean? It's just a lot faster
Yeah.
because you can just snap it wherever you want.
Yep.
It's
And like I
funny.
said, it's always in pitch.
Most BandLab projects I open are reverse, where there's like 5 audio tracks and 1 MIDI track. I love seeing a bunch of MIDI tracks.
Oh yeah, very
There's
creative.
so much more flexibility.
I know you guys are. I know you guys are metalheads. Wow.
Well, we're converting Glenn into one.
I'm getting there.
Glenn is going from the extreme of Deadhead to Metalhead.
And I'm definitely not against the dead. So let's make sure I'm not leaving them behind. I just want to make it a bigger tent, get everybody in here.
Well, if you could only choose one.
Oh, well, that's tough.
I know you're going to go with the groove there.
Yeah. Got to.
Well, this is probably my most popular track on iTunes right now.
The only one they fear is bass.
Nice.
What the- My fiance is completely weird right now. She just showed me a
Du-
picture of something I do not want to describe. Too graphic.
Dubstep.
Yeah, it's a
What
dubstep remix, but it's metal.
what is dubstep?
You're about to find. You're about to find out. This is not AI, by the way.
I was gonna say that's got some Knight Rider feel to it.
Yeah, actually, it was like in halftime.
Just wait for it.
Oh, that is awesome.
After this, I'm gonna play the original. That way, you guys can compare. It'll blow your minds.
Man, those synths sound so nasty.
Oh no! Love it.
Those are all
Mightier
band
the
lab.
better.
Those are all band lab patches.
No, that's a backing track that I pulled from YouTube. The mightier the better. I love making shit like this. I love making shit. Now I'm about to play the original.
Nice.
Those synths were nasty.
And this is the original.
And this is where metal can make a good living. Video games,
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
love metal.
It almost sounds nothing like the one that I had. it hit anywhere near as hard as the remix, though. That's the crazy thing. I don't understand why.
And that's how you incorporate synth into metal. That's good synth and metal.
This is the original. Pretty much loops after that.
Yeah. Good
But
inspiration.
I have,
I don't think
this is
any
another.
other video game has helped metal more than like maybe Command and Conquer, because they started the metal
Wolfenstein.
video games.
Wolfenstein.
Can't remember what game it was,
Oh,
but there was
true.
one game that came out that was sponsored by Rob Zombie. So like the whole soundtrack
Love
was Rob Zombie.
Wolfenstein,
It's pretty good.
especially the new ones. This is a.
Well, and you had shit like
metal-
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
Resident
yeah.
Evil
Yeah.
had a creepy ass soundtrack. I actually got scared watching my friend play it. I was like, whoa.
Like, this is a metal cover from Donkey Kong Country, one
Nice.
of the levels, and I remixed it. I took a video from
And
YouTube
I actually played
where
that
they did a
game.
metal cover. I took a video from YouTube where they did a metal cover of the song, and I remixed that. So it's another one.
It's so fun. I need to actually do more of that. that guitar coming from? That lead guitar.
It's from the original cover artist, but I did the backing track like the electronic sounds.
Oh, I like that little breathing moment right there.
Now, if you guys want to
I
hear
would sprinkle
absolutely,
that throughout that mix.
if you guys want to hear absolutely fucking insane, I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever make a remix of Moon River ever. And so I think I'm the very first person to ever do it. So enjoy this. It's a lot of fun.
Is that the dubstep?
Yeah.
Got it. Wow, that's like progressive pop.
Yeah.
You're making the death metal of pop. Really? Wow. You're making the brain move to listen. Slick with those slow moments.
Yeah.
That's like a Deep Purple organ solo.
Yeah.
Man, that was so animated. That shit could have been a Looney Tune cartoon.
A journey.
Oh man,
Very
one
slick,
one of my one of my
te-
favorite.
very slick tempo changes. You slowed it down in the right points to go from that like high speed chaos, like oh my god, I'm in a fucking car chase, to all of a sudden, like I'm in a back alley.
You want to know
Now I'm
something
back in the
crazy
car
about this thing?
chase.
You want to know something crazy about this track,
The
bro?
way you move that mix.
I bet you that you cannot find out where the loops start. This track is looped 3 times over. There's literally a loop in there, but the transition is so smooth for each repeating segment.
Well, this is the
I could see the first
this
two
is the
peaks.
kind of
Yeah, you can
this
kind
is
of
the
see
kind of
like right
DJ
here. You
layering.
can see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
3 here.
Yeah, yeah.
When you look at different
You can't hear it. You
audio
cannot hear the
engineers,
loop.
I hear you.
DJ audio engineers, the way that DJs layer audio and manipulate tempo, there's a certain mentality and a mindset there that is a talent in itself. The really great DJs understand digital audio better, I think, than anybody else. And some of that technique there is of that like layering mentality. This loop with that loop.
You know?
Gotta love the layering.
Yeah. But I actually completely forgot that I released this yesterday. It's another AI vocalist one.
Nice.
How the hell did I forget about this thing? It's only pinned to the top of my page. Brain fart.
Hiding at the top.
I never got one to pin. I've never gotten the pin to work on my account.
Trying to bring on my phone. It was you after all. Trying to bring on my phone. It was you after all. Trying to bring on my phone. Living out of mind. Guess I'll leave and get stoned. Guess I'll leave and get stoned. It was you after all. Trying to bring on my phone. It was you after all. Trying to bring on my phone. Living out of mind.
Damn, man, you've been collabing with a lot of people.
Pieces full of
I'm a very busy man.
Moving and shaking.
It was you after all, trying to bring them my home. It was you after all, trying to bring them my home.
Yep, that was another one.
And that's the one that you start with the bass. It's the
Yeah.
theme. Dun, dun, dun.
Rest. Don't
Yeah, you've been collabing with a lot of people, huh?
I'm trying to find
And moving and shaking.
something.
When I look at people's project lists, which I occasionally have to, it's amazing to see like
Oh
how
my
much
God.
shit people do.
Definitely.
So this is the track that made trending. It was a joke, but it made trending somehow. And the bass is absolutely nasty. The synth is nasty on it, but it works. I turned Rick Costelli's Never Gonna Give You Up into something amazing.
Is
So
that
prepare to
Hank
be
Hill?
prepare to be
Is that
rickrolled.
King of the
That's-
Hill?
It says, I've lost the will to live. The surprise. I didn't even say it was a Rickroll. I'm like, I just put everything out of context here just to fool people to click on it. And they all say, like, this actually sounds good.
That's Bill, huh?
Yeah. God damn it, Bill.
Oh, that's an outrun track. There's another one, Glenn.
For the video games.
Hell yeah. Oh, that modulation there is very cool. Another really cool moment. Oh,
I still
nice.
laugh
Unexpected.
about this fucking track every time I listen to
Well,
it. Because the
here's
backstory behind it is hilarious.
You're using an effect like an instrument in certain parts of that song. There were certain moments where you were controlling the whoosh, or there was an effect going on that was
Yeah.
clearly like a mod wheel type of approach, except you weren't doing it to an instrument. You're doing it
doing it
as
to
an
an
effect.
Mhm.
Yeah, such a cool technique that I'm trying to understand. that's the key to the DJ mixes. Like good
Uh-huh.
DJs know how to whoosh in ways that like scratching used to do in the 80s and 90s, but
Yeah, that's fine.
digital has a new scratch.
And with a
You
MIDI
did it like
controller, you could do it
three.
with a physical knob if you want. You can say,
Yeah,
learn this
Doc-
knob and use this knob
Dr.
to
B here?
whoosh.
Is Dr.
You
B
did
here
it
or
3
no?
times there that I couldn't ignore.
Is Dr. B here by any chance?
He's in the back.
Cool.
He's
It
in the back.
actually like it directs the ears. If you have instruments that are like moving in the stereo space and you use that whoosh properly, you can push the ears to focus on different sides with a strategic whoosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Modern
That's all about it.
mixing is not just about like sound coming in and the amplification there. Modern mixing with digital means you can program the whoosh. You can
Mhm.
make the brain think what they're hearing is like what you would be if you were in a stadium.
Mm-hmm. So this was Dr. Bullet's Dancing with Fire. I asked him to well, I forked it.
Dr. B is
Dancing in the
that
Fire.
motherfucker. Bullet does so many tracks that it's impossible for there not to be a track midnight that he's not in.
But anyway, I remixed it. It took me 20 minutes. So you're gonna have to listen, I guess. Or even a these effects.
Boy, I do hear that parallax. Whoa, that crack is awesome. Those little droplet sounds,
Yeah.
they're so sharp and crisp. It's like going through the sewer.
that
there
pin
was
drop sound.
yeah, there was those water droplet sounds at the end that were like going through the sewer, metal
I like
water
I
droplets.
like my effects very muddy,
And actually,
like it's
when you came
sludgy.
in, there was there was an intentional cracking that
Yeah,
you were doing
that
in the
was the
beginning
sludge.
there, that I was like, wow, you've got a punch. Yeah, that's the kind of mixing techniques that you
Sludge.
use in
I
certain
love
places
sludge.
for, yeah, sound effect
Yeah,
style.
it's an effect. My fiance was asking, sludge? What's sludge?
The
It's an
sound in
effect.
the middle between the
Yeah.
sharp sound at the beginning and the fade out at the end. The sludge was the mixture of those during the jam. Stabbing westward. All I
Oh
could
yeah.
think, like, in the middle of that was like, this is this stabbing westward sound from the early '90s, that industrial synth metal, but taken to an
Yeah.
effects level. They didn't have this shit back in the '90s.
Oh yeah, definitely didn't.
Some of the shit you're doing, you couldn't do back then.
Chaotic that stuff. Chaotic that
It's definitely an awesome tour, though, man. Awesome tour of the AI.
This is like some serious dark, evil, fucking metal shit right here, though. You don't even really need guitars for it.
Oh, this was for Creep It Real?
Yeah, was.
Awesome. I like those little pizzicatos. You can creep the fuck out of people with just a little pizz.
Sounds cultish, if you ask me.
Where are you getting the choir?
It's the backing track. Believe it or not, this is a remix of one of my originals, but I'm using a backing track to make it creepy.
Is that choir part of that backing track?
Yeah, the choir part is part
Yeah.
of the backing track.
Yeah, it's like dealing with a crazy splash on a drum. Like, I need to fix that, but I don't want to fuck everything else up.
Let's make this good. it's not.
Man, you must have had some fun with those guitar tracks.
Yeah.
I heard a growl and this little loopy. There's at least 3 tracks there.
I love making silly shit all the time, man.
Well, there were 3
Nice little creepy
different.
outro.
This kind of goes along the same lines, but I didn't put it in the contest.
You know, establishing time. This is real time beat. It's got a Halloween sound right there. Halloween in reverse. You flipped it. Fucking slick.
Then I do a false stop, and then I do the real drop.
I like that mood shift. You played video games, huh?
Definitely.
Yes. It has an influence in your arrangement. The way you arrange, you're a gamer. And a metalhead.
Oh yeah. I'd have to say my favorite metal album.
Well, you appreciate the chunk.
Yeah.
And the laser.
Yeah.
Nice clean outro.
Yep.
I have to have a clean outro.
You know, it's funny what gets you to mosh. It you know, you would think for me it'd be those guitars, but like it was actually like the fat synths at the end that were just doing the bass.
Yeah, pretty much my biggest inspiration, obviously, from a video game standpoint, as far as my composing style, would have to be the composers from Rareware when they made Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Banjo Kazooie. I mean, damn, I got their merch right here. Like seriously, like that track you heard comes from this came from Donkey Kong 64, and it's a remix of that, one of the spooky levels.
And those composers are going to be the composers that the 22nd century talks about.
Mhm.
20th century and 21st century composers are going to have to do shit with this digital, and video game music is going to define 21st century composers. They will be remembered because of the video game impact.
People have requested me to do Little John remixes, and I did it in
And
dubstep.
movies,
And
movie
movies, yeah.
soundtracks. There will always be the, like, was it John Williams? All the big movie composers, they definitely put a stamp on the 20th century. 20th century movie composers. 21st century video game composers. 22nd century, who the fuck knows what's going to be making music by
Holographic
then?
composers.
Or AI. Like, that AI has to learn from somewheres. That AI is going to suck up every creative brain willing to talk to it. It's a programming language. Here, teach a machine how to make music, and all of you, here's the language. Teach that machine how you play.
Well, that's where
That will
the
all
body of
be in a music brain.
the body of music that's out there for it to learn from. You could say,
God, I
go to the
can't
internet
believe I
and
haven't
find
made this
music,
one
and it
yet.
just goes and drinks it all in.
It's that little bit that isn't mechanical. It's the part
You
that's
guys ever
you.
played? Castlevania before?
I love Castlevania.
Okay, I played the
You know,
first
you know,
Castlevania, literally.
Vampire Killer, that song.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Ooh, I do know this.
Oh, the bass gets fucking nasty as hell.
All that build up.
Oh, wait for the so aggressive. I love it.
You captured that for sure.
Oh man. Like, there's actually a funny story behind this. I was super pissed off at my boss. So
Good
wanted to
excuse
type-
to write a song.
I wanted to title this boss killer, but I thought that would be inappropriate, so I called it bass
Oh
killer,
shit!
and
These days,
I just fucking put so much bass into it, and I had fun with it. Got my frustration out.
Nice.
it's a good way to convert it.
That's actually my voice sample. I modulated it. So that's actually me screaming into the mic.
Have you ever tried those mic to MIDI controllers? Because we got a buddy Soulmake. He's got one of those like $500 analog to MIDI mics, and he does some wild shit with it. Your AI and that mic, and you could get somebody who might not even be able to sing in a normal way to be able to sing with these techniques. These will be creative aids in the future. People who could never sing will get to. We're getting there. It's awesome.
I got another one where I did some. No, this isn't it. Hold on. Something else. Where are you? Clitoris. There's so much. There's so much shit. Well, it's not.
Yeah, I lose projects in my project list all the time.
You guys are lucky you can even load that shit, man. I can't even load my project page. For about 5 days a month, I can load my project page. The rest of the time, I'm waiting.
This one is like this is like an odd hybrid for me. I don't even know what genre it could possibly be, to be honest. I think I may have stumbled upon
dubstep. So you are declaring like your style. What is dubstep?
This is my full style of
dubstep. From a descriptive standpoint, and I ask people about genres all the time, because when you define yours, how do you define your sound? Dubstep is clear, consistent, and hardstep, which I would imagine is dubstep plus a little punch. I've noticed that in a couple of your pieces so far.
Most excellent.
Mixing punch.
guitar would go amazing not gonna lie.
Most excellent. Most excellent. Not to worry, I'll have you framed within the depths of my jaw soon enough, my love.
It's the evil Knight Rider. This is the evil Knight Rider.
Most excellent.
Synths are just as good at the rhythm mosh as the guitars. In those last couple of examples, um, the bass synth was basically playing the role of, like, in metal what the rhythm guitars tend to do, all the
Yeah.
chugga chugga and bounce, which I love. For me, I don't care if it's synths or guitar, and I love when I hear both and in unison sometimes.
Mhm. And I got this one. This one's unreleased. I actually forgot if my filters. I think I did already, but it's unreleased. You guys get
Malware
a special
3.
sneak preview.
I mean, that is technically World War
malware
3.
exe.
Yeah, World War 3 is going to be a weird war. It ain't going to be with missiles, and it ain't going to be with bombs.
But this is okay. If you've ever watched what's that movie called? It's kind of like Mad Max or Blade Runner. Blade Runner. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Here we go. Just that's the kind of vibe you should be getting. Little play.
Awesome soundtrack on that, too. You're totally right about the sci-fi sound.
Yeah.
What makes that sound?
I have a very nice keyboard.
Is it
Spent a lot of money on.
the patches? The patches right now make you feel sci-fi. Change one patch, and this becomes heavy metal.
Oh, let's wait for this part.
Those are the little pizzicatos. The tension in the bridge. You're growing the groove. You're pulling the groove out. Snake charming that shit. I like that hard synth in the back. That one's dry. That's the driver. That layer drives everything above. Now you shifted the layer right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's like a fretless bass, just wide open. That's a slick way to arrange. you're shifting, it's not just a shift between chords or parts. It's a shift between dominant sounds and secondary sounds.
Hmm.
And
I'm
whether
pretty much.
secondary sounds all of a sudden have a solo and then go back.
Mhm.
That level of sound management is master level. Like I hope to learn the directional flow of all sound because it
It's
doesn't just move up and down, it moves in
it took
every
time. It took a
direction.
lot of time to do that.
Well, stereo has taken us 100 years to actually get right. And now surround sound, it's like stereo times 9, 13. They keep like making it more precise. You can put sound where you want it these days. Simulate mics that you'd spend thousands for, use a crap ass mic and actually run it through the right effect, and you can make that shit sound like a good mic.
I know you love moving stuff around the room too, like when you have a sound in a song and you want it to like move around the listener. So, off to the left, then behind, and then off to the right, and then out in front. You can have it swoop around,
Well,
get that
yeah,
sweep sound.
an amp has different sweet spots. Like if I want that amp to sound drop, like it's in drop, moving the mic in the old days was how you did that without making it detune.
Pick
I'm
it up from
actually
a
gonna
different spot.
check something real quick.
Miking on cabinets in the old days was the secret to like hard rock and metal. In the 90s, it changed from analog directional to digital directional. We're still fucking figuring out the algorithm. Digital is just in like it's we're like 4 or 5 year olds in the digital world after the last 15, 20 years. DAWs just started the revolution, but digital songwriting is the next generation.
I don't want to go premium. Go away. I want to listen to ads.
Well, what's the advantage to premium?
Oh man,
Oh, it's like paying for
you gonna
YouTube.
load that?
Are you going to pay for YouTube? They split it either through cable or
No, I lost
you
my.
get sick of ads.
I can't hear you guys through my headset. What's going on?
Oh, did you reroute your audio?
You stop sharing for one.
And it's not going to your headset?
Oopsies,
Sharing.
it
Yeah, well,
disconnected.
sharing can like tweak out the audio interface for a second. I noticed my keyboard, the only time it ever disconnects from Windows is when I'm doing Zoom shares and I'm sharing to my Roland. And when I do, I stop sharing, I see a pop up that says like the audio interface has changed.
Yeah. Oh lordy, holy crap! It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, definitely quite the whirlwind tour of the AI there, but that was a good solid 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
that not
I'm glad I
only
can help
answered
you
a
guys
bunch of my
out.
questions, that
Raised a whole bunch more.
enticed me. Well, entice me to fucking download it. I
Yeah,
am gonna play with that.
Oh
me
yeah,
too, for sure.
definitely. I encourage it. It's a lot easier to use in BandLab than any other DAW, though. I will say that because I've actually tried to use it in Fruity Loops. I've tried to use it in Reaper,
Well,
Ableton,
every good DAW should be clipboard friendly. Like if that's
because I
copied into the
literally
clipboard, MIDI data and audio data to a clipboard is a clean process. Every
now
good program
um
pastes.
there is only one thing that there is a disadvantage. Um, let's say you finish a project or and then you move on to another project. But then you want to go back to the project that you think you finished, but you want to go back. If you do not remember exactly the chord progressions you had, the tone, everything,
That's kind
the
of stuff you'd want to
BPM,
you want to put that stuff into the lyrics notes in the song so that you
yeah, you
remember
want
for
to
next
put,
time.
you want to write it down, everything that you have down.
That's a habit
And
I do need to start
yeah,
doing.
you literally have to write down what your BPM was, what your chord progressions were,
That
what key that
Ange
you were
does
in.
that. You should see Ange's notes. Like I've seen some of her old school shit, and
And you have to
she
remember
wrote down everything.
which um, genre
Mhm.
you were playing in, because you have the option to select genre, so it'll pick the best type of progression. Um,
I started doing that
Oh,
with some of the stuff out with in Pennsylvania there with Jeff, where when we pick a beat or whatever from the keyboard, and it's 106 BPM on this, on number 52 or whatever, and I'll put that into the note for the actual track, so that if we have to try to reproduce it later, we know what the rhythm was.
and you're talking about specific settings on this AI, huh, Chris? Because
mhm.
if it, have they not set up like presets to store that yet?
If you want to save, okay, so let's say that you want to
Because
save
that
like
would be the
25
issue.
different sets of the same chord progression within the same genre, everything. You can literally drag each file into a folder, save them for later if you want to use them later, and then you can use them again.
But
You're like, oh,
when
hey,
you
I can
start
customize that.
when you start shifting a genre, you're making a different revision.
Yeah.
What happens there is there's no like vision system, so you either need to save as and like make a new folder and call it reggae version.
Hmm.
you,
Yeah.
you make a different version of something, which I do all the fucking time. I don't want to have to do that. I like
Hmm.
certain parts of the revision mentality they have. I just hate the integration.
Hmm.
And I don't have the bandwidth. Like it takes me 3 hours to download one song.
And that's just crazy.
Well, and it kills my internet for anything else. So for 3 hours, I can't use the internet and keep my fingers crossed this song
Time
downloaded,
to
which
go to a Starbucks.
has failed more times than succeeded. So it doesn't tell me at the beginning. It tells me 3 hours later, this shit crapped out.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, especially when you use like I only have 4 days of it. If that shit fails when I need it to succeed and it just ate 4 gigs for nothing, it's turning me into a headbanger again. Like literally, I just want to fucking go to my internet company, and it's not like the technology doesn't work. They shut it off. They turn the pipe on and say, you get 30 gigs. And then it stops being functional, which is as cruel as you can be for a company with that service.
Are you kidding me, guys? I just got some news.
I'd rather get my water cut
What news did you get?
off.
I don't know which track it is, but I fucking did it again.
Oh,
Made
nice.
trending electronic just an hour ago. I
Oh, you
just
should be
looked at it.
all over
Sweet.
electronic, man.
Let's find out what
Electronic
it is.
is your dominant sound on
Let's
top of
see
dubstep.
which track it is. If it is some fucking asinine track that I was fucking around, okay, good. It's an actual track that I actually tried. Thank God. And it's original. Fuck, finally.
Bonus. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Originals are hard as fuck to actually get any attention from.
But it's funny, it's a remix of my original. So what the fuck? Oh, and it uses the AI vocalist, which is actually fucking cool.
Nice.
Hold on, I'm about to see if I can share this again. You guys are going. I did not expect that. Places some audio. There we go. Can you guys see me? Yeah. See the screen at least. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me go back actually. Let me go. Yep. Right there. There it is. Right. I actually made the album cover from scratch. Oh, where the fuck did it go now? No, there it is. Okay. Bare bones.
Flashes wrapped, my bones are bound.
Oh yeah, this is actually pretty.
Brave humans all despair. Brave humans all despair. Did you know I am mad? I feel the pain. Stories all right on this. Flashes wrapped, my bones are Flashes wrapped, my bones are brave humans all despair. You know I
Well, I just had a complete and total mind fuck just now.
Oh yeah. What happened?
It was posted and trending an hour ago, and that means it was posted on Friday. I've hit trending every single Friday for a month now. So
Nice.
BandLab chooses its tracks on Friday.
You can figure out the BandLab algorithm. Good fucking luck, man. I've been studying that shit since I signed up, and
I'm
some of
serious,
that's
I know it's been
organic
everything.
and some of
It's more
that's
of a timing
digital.
thing, yeah.
They don't give you a lot of information, so you don't know what actually makes anything, whether it's a popularity contest on likes or favorites or human
I
factor.
posted this
It's
Saturday.
it's a salad there.
I posted this Saturday. I posted that Rickroll remix on a Saturday.
Did I bounce? Good sound makes its way through when it comes to music on BandLab. BandLab's not like your typical music distribution network. It's not a Spotify.
Oh, I have
So,
my own distributor anyway.
well,
I
and
use Discretion.
analytics only matter where you're getting them from. It's like somebody who knows nothing about music telling you like that song sounds horrible. You take that advice with a certain grain of salt because where it's coming from. You can't look at BandLab statistics for what you normally would look at statistics for because
And I'm like extremely active on here too.
oh, and I'm
That might be a
extremely
factor.
analytical. So when I'm looking at statistics anywhere, I want to know what those things actually mean. Not the hits of like 2000 where, oh my God, my page got 1,000,000 hits. Yeah, because it was loaded twice. And you put so much shit on it that it got 1,000,000 hits. That's where the numbers, you need to know what they mean before you start to wonder why they mean.
Oh my god. Why do they look question? Why do they look autistic? What the fuck is wrong with this person?
Well, it's not so much why they look, it's who looked. You're more interested in who's looking than anything else.
Fucking
In the social media world,
kid.
that's the real value.
I made this post. I posted this picture. Everyone should know what this song is and what it means. And what I put down, I put soon, very soon. And like everyone's like, no, don't do it. It's impossible. You can't do it. I fucking did it anyway. And it sounds it sounds great as fuck. And they're losing their fucking mind. Ignore that comment. That's cringe right there. I don't like that kind of stuff. I want to delete it, but
His
good.
name is Juice Penis. What do you expect? Like, some people don't hide themselves. There's a guy that keeps popping in that's like his parentheses, I'm a rapist, or I'm not a rapist. It's just like, come on, why would you put that in your nickname?
Wow. No. I think I have one more before I turn in for the night. Oh yeah, another thing. I have been rescuing terrible songs, like bad songs, like they should have never existed, and I turned them into something better. But it still sounds a little terrible, but the backing track saves it. Like this one, I know everyone and their mom has seen this guy on YouTube, JJ Ice Fish.
When you say you're making a mix better, is what you're trying to do here?
Like, no, this person on YouTube intentionally made his vocals sound horrendous. Intentionally.
Well, yeah, some people do. But if that's their intent, did you ask them what their intent was there? Because
I know what the intent was.
Well, you should communicate with the artist there and know what their intent is, because you could actually like do something and they're like, what the fuck, man, that's not what I was trying to do. It has happened to me in that regard.
It's fine. No, because I'm not planning on uploading this to Spotify or YouTube. This is BandLab exclusive, so I won't get any licensing issues or anything like that. I try to keep any major drama like this out of Spotify and all that. I don't want him knocking on my door like, hey man, why'd you fuck up my song, man?
Yeah,
But
as long as you know the other artist, as long as you know the other artist is good with it, it doesn't matter about anybody else. That's the only time I would be concerned. If I fuck somebody's sound intent up, a singer trying to do a certain thing, I've tried to fix things that I thought needed fixing, and had singers that were like,
when you hear it, you'll understand.
I didn't understand what that singer was trying to do until they explained it to me.
When you hear the voice, it'll throw you off, I promise. It's so bad, but it's so good. traditional song.
All right. Can you do me a favor? Bring your band lab volume down to like 20%. That way we can listen
okay.
and still talk. Because we're no longer streaming, so like we're talking now.
Okay.
And that's the kind of Bjork shit that like the last couple of months you have a lot of experimental. You know what you have there? You have two songs on top of each other actually being sung at the same time by the same person.
No, it's not. I'm literally using a free backing track that just so happens to have the same type of chord progression and the original track that he's singing
Yeah,
on.
and the crazy thing is the sound it's producing is almost actually pleasant to
I
a
know.
progressive composer. There's it's the Bjork effect. Bjork, she knew how to like do shit with sound melodies that not just her, but in modern day that kind of multiple sounds at the same time in the
Yeah.
contrasting
Let me
harmonies
pull up the original.
can actually produce. Oh, what's going
Where
on?
is it? There it
You
is.
merging us, Glenn?
Nah, nothing.
Too bad.
I think Angie's in the back there.
Goddamn dead. I need premium.
Reload now.
Reload now. I can't even listen to this shit anymore.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh my god. Kill me. I've lost the will to live.
Terrible. I think Tony got knocked into the other room there.
I think you should be thankful I remixed it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did the world a favor.
Tried to fix it,
And I did.
make it
I
all
made
better.
it much better.
Yeah.
Daddy got the band-aid.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Very
That's
good
why I
stuff
love
with all
doing
that.
this shit.
I definitely got to mess with that. One more time for the recording. What was the website for that one?
Splash Pro
Flash.
by Pop Gun AI.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Splash Pro.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, got it right here.
Nice.
It's okay. I'm running on like Windows, but this is like a Mac OS thing.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
I know. It's like I want to click this, but it's like it's gonna open up settings and like. Oh yeah, and it actually helps you out. Shows you pretty much how to use it.
Nice.
So yeah, it comes with free instructions.
Very cool.
A lot of fun. Get out of here. All right, you guys.
Yeah, man.
I'm tired as hell.
Yeah, me too.
Way past 1:30. I got to wake up 6:15 in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
A dead end ass job. Hopefully
always fun.
by the end of November, I get a nice royalty check from Spotify.
That'd
I
be good.
passed
Little
over
Christmas
1,000
shopping.
Shazams. I passed over 1,000 Shazams a couple days ago. One of my tracks. I was surprised. I'm like, actually, hold on. my shit skin going everywhere. Let me pull up my special XDF. I love the Spotify for artist stuff.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet.
But yeah, it's been growing a little bit.
Mhm.
It's worldwide now.
Nice.
Everything colored in blue is those are people that are listening.
Hmm.
I freaking love Spotify for artists. And these are all the countries. They actually have the whole list.
Yeah, yeah.
And they finally added this feature, engagement. I need one more stream.
There you go.
One more. Give it to me. I need it. My God. No.
Break 1,000. Yeah, we do these talks every Thursday night. Tony and I do these, and it's right after the dad's show. So anytime, like usually about 10 o'clock, from then till midnight, 1 o'clock, we usually go over any kind of tech stuff, whether it's new kinds of hardware, software. One that we were thinking about doing tonight was about these drumsticks that don't require drums anywhere. They just kind of air drumming.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I've seen a couple of those over the
actually
years. And there were some really, really bad ones early on, and then
they had the first variation like in the late 90s. It was like a kid's toy, and then they made it for adults.
Yep.
Then they made them into silicone, rubber.
Yep. Now they got it where it's basically like 2 sticks with like a ball on the end, basically for tracking. But the way they did it now is instead of trying to do it with Bluetooth, they just went with optical tracking. So they just basically use a PlayStation camera, and they have a glow light, and then like you put a reflector, like cheesy little reflector that you like tape to your, or not tape, but you have wrapped around each of your feet, so you can do the kick pedals. So you can do the kick pedals and the drumsticks, and you get the full kit going. Looks pretty cool. The reviewer did the review on the one that was really terrible the first time, and I'm watching now and I'm like, oh my God, this looks awful. And then he did the review on the second one, and it was actually just like 100,000 times better. It was like a different company, and just they took that concept and just ran with it much better than the first company did. So it looked much better. But yeah, we do those anytime. So stop by any Thursday or stop by any other night. Be great to chat. Yeah, and sometimes, like you see, we had 9 people in the back room earlier today. So when we have the show going out front, we also have people just hanging out in back, whether they're jamming or just going over stuff for other shows in the future, that kind of stuff.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to, you can always hit me up on BandLab if you want to collab or anything. Just leave it forkable, and I can get to it. If it has a good flow, it has a good BPM, good flow with it. It can be remixed in no time at all. Yeah, probably nice. 30 minutes tops.
Sweet. Yeah,
if you always like providing those samples.
If you like looking through any of the stuff, I mean, I've got maybe 50 or 100 songs in my profile there. You can check out if you wanted to. Just random stuff. I mean, join it with anybody.
I mean, if there's one that you really want to have remixed, just send it my way and I can have it done.
Cool, man. I appreciate that.
I'm fast.
Nice. My big problem is that a lot of the stuff that I have lately is the stuff that it's stuff that we're just room recordings from band rehearsal or whatever. So it's not separate stems. So it's stuff that's it's not well mixed, but there's not much I can do about it until I actually get stems from it. So a lot of those I'm gonna have to recreate. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind for sure.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, thanks again
for coming meeting you all. Oh yeah, no problem. Have a good night, man.
All right, man. Take care.
Yep.